Hi Anuja, it's
Hi,
so good to see
Siddhant.
you. I would like to introduce Anuja first of all as a very old college friend of mine. We've probably grown up together. It's been so good to see you after so long. And it's
Absolutely.
so nice that now that you've grown so much and the kind of stuff you're doing is so inspiring. So let me tell everyone, Anuja is a dysphagia specialist and a speech therapist. And she's always, helping mothers, helping their children if any kind of language or speech problem or any kind of in that space basically. So it's so good. Would like to know a little bit more on this front, Anuja. So good to have you at my podcast in this one.
Thank you, Siddhant. It's really good to see you after so many years and to see what big things that you're up to now, come such a far long way from our college days. Now you're an author, you're a health and lifestyle influencer, reverse type 2 diabetes. I mean, that's huge, really huge. So congratulations. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'd love to do this podcast with you today.
Thank you, thank you. So, Anuja, let's start from the basics. I want to know, like, how did you get into this journey? Why did you choose this kind of a field or a topic you would like to, because it's something very rare. I've not seen a lot of people do this. So,
Yeah.
I want to know how did you start it, and a little bit what was your inspiration behind, or what was your thinking behind this entire journey which you're doing with
Yeah,
Sparc?
absolutely. I don't know how much of our college days you remember because that was definitely a long time ago. But all through college, all through growing up, I've always loved children. I've always loved interacting with them, doing things with kids, and it's always been a happy space for me. That slowly led me to wondering why children of the same ages don't communicate the same way. They all communicate differently. They have different milestones, and I always wondered why. Delving more into that as I grew a little bit older and I went on for my undergrad, I came across the field of speech and language therapy, and it just completely took my heart. This was definitely something that was meant for me, and I was so interested in it that I kept finding out more, and then I changed my major and I got into speech and language therapy, and then I did my master's in it as well. So I've super specialized, and I work with kids as well as adults. And then I've also specialized in feeding or dysphagia, which is where children or adults, it could be either, have difficulties with eating or drinking or chewing or coordinating their muscles. It could be due to a range of reasons, whether it's low muscle tone, whether it's in coordination, or hypersensitivity to textures. It could be very many different causes, but uh, I came across this as well, and it was so interesting to me. So then I specialized in this, and I see that it's really an area where parents in this day and age don't really know much about. I wouldn't have either if I hadn't studied this. And I find it very interesting because I mean we all have to eat. We all go through meal times every
Mhm.
single day. It's such an important part of our daily lives as children, as
Right.
adults, socially, all of that. So it needs to be pleasant. Meal times need to be pleasant. It has to start off on a positive note from the time the child is young, and we start feeding them solids. So I think this is what really brought me to this field.
That is so good, yeah, Anuja. I think, like as I said earlier, I don't think I know many people who are into this, and nowadays a lot of people are not vocal about it as well. Even like if mothers have they think that their child has a problem or there is some issue, they don't really know who to actually go to, who's the specialist in this kind of a field. So it's so good that you've taken this subject and you're doing there out there to help mothers out there with their children. So this is so good to know. Also, I want to know, like, I think we were talking about the feeding part, which
Yeah.
I would like to emphasize on, which you said the children are having difficulty or the parents are having difficult feeding their child. So can we share some light on that?
Yeah, sure. It's such a large, vast area, but I think two things that I'd like to bring up right away are one is, often I see parents say, well, my child's just a picky eater. That's just, how they are. They don't eat this, they don't eat that. But the thing is, the picky eating always starts from somewhere. And that is something that can be corrected or, targeted so that it never ever goes down that road of picky eating. That's something that, I wanted share out there with all parents, that it doesn't have to be just something as small, so as also called as picky eating, but there's always some reason why this is happening, and you can fix it. So do fix it. It'll just make meal times and holidays or meal times with family or friends as they grow older so much more positive. A second thing is, and I know I'm going a little fast, but we are short on time. A second thing is that, right from when kids are really young, parents, I've often seen a lot of parents resort to giving their children what's known as a sippy cup. A sippy cup is any kind of a cup which has a hard spout through which the child sucks the liquid out. And that is a big no-no, because what that does is it prevents the right kind of mature swallow pattern from happening. So it interferes with the way that the child is supposed to swallow. It also comes in the way of speech sound development. So if the child is really young and hasn't yet developed all speech sounds, say, 1 or 2 years of age, it can impair that, hinder that as well. So I would always say parents go for an open cup right from the start, or go from a straw right from the start. There's no need to go for a sippy cup. The only advantage of it is that it prevents spills, but a child needs to learn how to prevent spills by making the spills. So allow it to happen.
So this is really good. A lot of people have misconceptions, in terms of, in this area and the feeding and, which is right, which is not right. So well said. Yeah, I think this is so important, which you've shed light on. Also, Anuja, let me know, tell me something, with Sparc and the company which you founded. What is your vision with your company, and what do you see yourself in, like, probably 5 years down the line with the company and the growth? Little bit
Yeah.
on that you'd like to talk?
Yeah, so my main aim has always been and will continue to be spreading awareness. So I think as long as I'm getting awareness out there and helping people with as much of information as I can, whether it's through workshops, whether it's through conferences, meetings, sessions individually, or with a bunch of parents who need assistance, I think my main aim will always be to spread that awareness.
Okay. Even me being a dad of two kids, I have two daughters, I always see them, they're so fussy about eating and things like that. Now I know exactly who do I need to talk to when it comes to that stuff.
Absolutely.
So, so
Absolutely.
great, great,
Yeah,
great.
and I
And
mean, you've done so much of great work yourself. I'd love to know more about how, you reversed your journey with diabetes, how you reversed it. I didn't know that you went through all of that.
so you know what, like, since we've known each other for so long, you've always seen me athletic from college. I've never have had overweight issues, or I never
Yeah.
had any kind of obesity or anything like that. But you know what, after marriage, I was noticing that there was some issue with my body. Probably if a normal human being is putting on 1 kilo, I'm putting 2 kgs,
Okay.
at the same time of thing. So it came to such a stage that I became 106 kgs,
Okay.
and I had a lot of breathing issues, and it became very alarming. So then when I went to my family doctor, we got our blood tests and stuff, and my fasting came to 225,
Okay.
which was absurd, because
Right.
it was way over the normal range. And then it gave me a jolt. It took me back that now it's not only about me, but I want to live for my daughters, for my family, because they are suffering also, when you suffer. So
Absolutely.
that was something which gave me that trigger point. And I started, slowly and steadily. I started, luckily I was not into insulin, I was just into medication. So, I started with intermittent fasting for 12 hours, then gradually to 14 to 16, which also really helped me. I did
Right.
about 20,000 steps. I became more mobile, I kept a step tracker, and used to go
Wow.
up and down the stairs. I never used to sit down in my office anymore. I used to walk around the hallway and talk. It
Right.
just became more mobile in terms of my lifestyle, because see, it was type 2 diabetes. So it's all about lifestyle and how you live.
Right.
So you need to just, and in today's time, with so much radiation, with so much diseases spreading,
Yeah.
it's more the reason that it's more important to concentrate on your health and well-being.
Right.
Not so, and in fact, a lot of people, I also really tell people that, every 3 months or 6 months, you should do an entire health body checkup. You
Right.
might look good from outside, you might feel that you're fine, but there might be some parameters which you probably don't know, which are not, is mismatched, or it's not
That's
up to the
true.
mark. So it's a checkpoint, that, if something is wrong, you can always measure it and correct it. So that
Absolutely.
also I really encourage people. And yeah, so this journey started, and I was very determined. I've got a strong willpower. nothing happens if you don't have a strong willpower. So with my willpower
That's so
was very
true.
strong,
Yeah.
and I was very determined, that I want to do it, and no matter what, I will make sure that I change. I would like to inspire people also, because a lot of people who have this from the age group of mainly 30 to 45, they don't even know they are borderline diabetic, or they are like having some issue with sugar levels, so this is something, it's just a way to inspire people and to let people know that how important in today's time is to do your regular checkups and tests. And, if there are people say, diabetes is never curable, but nothing like that. I'm a living example.
Yeah.
It's all about a true determination, true willpower. And, how true are you to yourself?
Yeah.
You might say that, you might go to nutritionists, you might go to doctors, you might follow diet charts, and then it's not working for you. But how true to yourself are to those nutritionists? Are you following it to the T? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
If you're not following it to the T, you can't blame a nutritionist that, I got a diet chart and it's not working for me. So,
Absolutely.
so basically it's all about how true are you to yourself, and, what is your willpower, your determination to change,
Yeah.
and that was my own thing. And after I reversed my type 2 diabetes, luckily, touch wood, it's been about 2 years since I'm diabetic free.
That's amazing.
And I still do my
Congratulations.
regular checkups. Every 3 months, I do a sugar testing, and that I keep following the same process. And also, it inspired me to launch my own snack brand. I started a health snack brand, which
Wow.
because I would, snacking is something which people really are indulging into, and at any time of the hour they want to eat, and it's like more like forced eating, or
Right.
so it's like something I thought that why not introduce something healthy with a good taste as well, not compromising too much with the flavors, and giving them a better option. So that is something also I started, and we are in 6 cities. We're launching 8 more cities.
Wow.
So yeah, so that is how we think. I've written a book also, which is on my transformation, which is on Amazon, which
Fabulous.
people can read on. So now is my second book, going to be my third book soon. I'm writing another book. So yeah, so these are small things, I'm trying to inspire
Amazing.
people in my own way. And also like talking to people like you yourself, where I feel that, how we can help the society, help people out there in any field. It's so
Yeah.
important. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's
And just
something
being
like
there
giving
to
back to the
support
society.
everyone. Yeah, definitely.
So I want to know, Anuja, to now, if you want to give a message to the mothers, to the parents out there,
Yeah.
like what would that message be from your side to
I
everybody?
think, yeah, I think to all parents, don't over fret, but if you're concerned about anything, anything at all, always get a professional opinion. It doesn't hurt. Get an opinion, make a phone call, make an appointment if you must, but get a check and then know for sure what way you need to go. But don't, just leave it be and say, well, they'll outgrow it because that doesn't always happen. Not that it can't, but it doesn't always happen. And if intervention is needed, early intervention is always best.
So well said. Yeah, thank you, Anuja, for your time. It was so
Thank you,
lovely
Siddhant.
chatting with you.
You
And
too.
now people know where to contact if someone has any issue with speech or language. So they need, it's always good to call for help. There's no shame about it, or people don't have to think.
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
we are there to help them. So it's so good that you're doing this, and thank you so much for giving your time.
Thank you,
And
Siddhant. This was really wonderful.
and
Thank you
let's
so
connect
much.
soon, and hope to see you soon.
We'll do that definitely. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.